Hi guys, my name is Morrison and I'm here to show you how to create this New Year's Eve makeup look. So what I'm applying is the Pro Palette Napoleon Perdis Concealer just over the eyes, and this will be our base for our eyeshadow. Going in with a look 2 of the Camera Finish Powder, that's also by Napoleon Perdis. We're just going to apply this just over the top of the eyelids, where this will just set the concealer. So you're just creating an even base over this eye area. Now what I'm going to do is, with this smoky eye, I'm actually going to start with the crease and then we're going to work our way into the eyelid. So starting at the, open your eye for me. So starting at the crease where you see right here, we're just going to start applying just a line. Just going across. What I'm using is, again, it's a Napoleon Perdis. It's colour disc called Amazon Jungle. So it's like a terracotta colour. We're doing a soft smoky. Then going in with my other brush, I'm just going to be blending this. And now I'm going to do the same with the other eye. With the blending brush, I'm just going back over it and I'm just blending it out. So we're just blending out the orange, so it's just become a very soft base colour. Now what I'm going to do is I'm using a Revlon set. It's the Colorstay quads, and I'm going in with this medium colour here. And I'm just going to accentuate. So if you just want to take a look, all that I've done is just applied it just right here. So we're not going too far up or too far across, we're just keeping it on that corner there. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye. We haven't blended anything yet. Now, going back in with our blending brush, we're just going to blend it just a tiny bit on the ends where we've added this darker brown. So yeah, so we've just accentuated just the very corners and we've just brought a warm texture just coming through there. Now I'm using this shimmer. It's a Sportsgirl shimmer. It's called I Like to Glow with the Flow. And I'm using it in, if I can get it. Oh, it doesn't even have a name. Oh, it's a shimmer and it's called Glam. So I'm using that. That's by Sportsgirl. And this, I'm just going to gently pat just over the center of the eye. And then again, with my blending brush, I'm just going to soften it around the edges, just so that it doesn't look like a clump of glitter. This also will suit a lot of girls with blue eyes, like my sister, because orange will bring out blue eyes a lot better than any other colour. So I'm just tapping it onto the other eyelid. So what I've done is just right here, I've just tapped in that shimmer and then using my blending brush, I'm just softening it around the edges. Just so we are creating that base when we do add a little bit more shimmer to it. Now what I'm doing is I'm going in with an Inglot pot, and this is, well, it's a body sparkle, but it's Inglot number 64. So then what I'm going to do with this one is using a finer brush, just like a normal eyeshadow, just not as big as the previous one. I'm actually going in with this. So this is going to create just a little bit more glitter than what we've got going on. Well, it is more of a glitter rather than a shimmer. And we're just building up that area. Used when I was applying the powder on the eye. I'm just going to go in with that same powder, and I'm just going to go across the brow bone just to soften and blend in. Okay, so now what I'm using is by Motives. It's called a glitter adhesive. So this is going to help for anyone that's wanting like actual glitter pieces like to stay on the eye. This is going to just help keep that sticking. So I'm just going to apply it just over the eyelid, and then using a brush and tapping the eye candy glitter, I'm just going to tap that on. And we're not applying this all over the like bronzed area, we're just applying it more so in the middle section. Just to create that sparkle, and that adhesive is going to help it hold all night. So now what I'm going to do is going in again with the Motives glitter adhesive. I'm just going to apply it just over the middle part of the eye again. We've got all that bronzy colour. And then going in again with the eye candy glitter. So we've just applied the glitter just to this middle section here. It's not going all the way up here, and it's not going too far close, like on the inner eye. Okay. Right now I'm using the Napoleon Perdis eye gel, and I'm just using it in the black. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this to create the eyeliner across the top of the eye. So I'm just using a fine eyeliner brush, and I'm just working into it. If you apply it on your hand instead of getting it out of the jar, with the body heat, well, the heat from your body will naturally warm up the product, which will help it move a lot nicer and more evenly across the eye. So I'll just get Shanice to close, and I'm starting from the middle, and I'm working my way out both ends. So I'm going to the outer corner first, and I'm not doing the flick just yet because I'm going to get both sides even, and then we'll come back and do the flicks. With a gel liner, it's best to be really steady with it because you're wanting to create a really smooth surface. She's just checking herself out in the mirror there. And just open for me. Yep, and just close again. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to the next eye. We're going to do the exact same thing. I have not done the flicks yet, so that'll come after we've completed this eye. Starting from the middle of the eye. Now what I'm starting to do is I'm going to start the flicks. I'm starting with this eye. And we're just slowly, it's almost like a feathering kind of motion, like you're not doing a straight line, you're kind of doing like little flicks to create it. So just close again. So now it's all about evening out the flicks just to make sure that they are the same length and going in the same direction, because you don't want one going too far up while the other one's going out. So with the eyeliner, we've just brought it up. Depending on the eye shape, you can always do eyeliner a little bit differently. But Shanice has got rather small eyes, so we haven't done the eyeliner too thick. So now what I'm going to start on is we're going to start working on the base. So we're going to start with Shanice's base, where I am using the Illamasqua matte primer. This primer is actually really good for people that find they've got rather oily skin. Otherwise, I just find it a really nice primer for a bit more of a matte finish. So now we're just going to apply this all over Shanice's face. So now going in with the Napoleon Perdis Pro Matte Concealer, we're just going to cover up the blemishes just on Shanice's face before we put down a foundation. So this is just with the concealer. We've just concealed any blemishes and any redness on the face. So then we can now apply a foundation. I've used Studio FX Fluid by MAC for a foundation. So we're going to be applying this all over her face. That's not her video. Break that up. Oh, okay. So with this foundation, we're actually matching it to Shanice's tan. So it may look really dark compared to her natural skin on this side, but we're blending it in with her tan rather than her au naturel colour. I'll just get you to turn your head a little bit. Then going in with your concealer brush with a bit of concealer, which we've used the Napoleon Perdis Pro Palette, we're just going to go underneath. We're just going to go underneath the eyes. So just look up for me up at the roof. And just bringing all that in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight Shanice's face. So what we're going to do is using the Photoready Skinlights by Revlon, we're just going to apply this just to certain areas of Shanice's face, just where the sun will, or any kind of light, will just pick up the product. So where I'm going to first start is just along the cheekbones. So bringing it just up near, I guess near the eyebrow, near the temple, but more so bringing it down. So we're doing it along both cheeks, so starting up at about the temple, bringing it down. Depending on how oily you find your skin, if you find your skin to be very oily or combination, it's best to do it in small bits like this. If you find your skin to be rather dry or dull, you can always mix a little bit of it in with your foundation, and that'll just help give more of a dewy finish. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to apply a little bit of it to the centre of the forehead and bringing it down the nose as well. Another good spot to highlight your face is just at your cupid's bow, just above your lips. So once you put a really nice lipstick down, just helps lift it a little bit more. As well as another spot where I would recommend would also be just the very corner bit of your chin. Just where your chin goes in, just under your lip. They're my main key points if you're wanting just individual little bits rather than a really shiny, dewy, like all over your face. Now I'm going back in with the Napoleon Perdis Camera Finish powder. This one that I'm using on Shanice is in Look 2. And I'm just going to dust this just all over foundation just to set it. The roof, and we're just going to put some under the eye. And that'll just seal the concealer down there as well. Now what I'm doing is I'm going in with a Napoleon Perdis, what's it called, blusher. This blusher though I realise was a limited edition one. It was called Something Wild Powder Duo. So it was more of like a pinky bronzer kind of mix. And we're just tapping it in. And it's going in just under where she had her highlight. And it's just going in lightly because we're not wanting anything too full on and we don't want to go too 80s on the cheeks. So we're And if you do find that the colour is very strong, you can always go back with the powder that you're using all over your face and you can just knock it back a little bit. So now what I'm going to do, now that we've added a highlight and a blush, we're also going to now add a contour. So your contour is used to shape your face. So with Shanice, we're just going to bring in the cheekbones a little bit. So I'll just get you. Some girls like to do that where they kind of suck in the cheeks. You can do that. If you know where the cheekbones are or you can identify them easily, you don't necessarily need to do this with yourself. But I'll just get you to turn a little bit. Basically, it's from the tip of the ear, the tip of the ear coming down. You don't want to go too far. I normally say about 3 fingers. If we're coming down, we're stopping at about here. And you don't want it to be too dark either. You can always buff it out using your powder again. Again, going down from the tip of the ear, and you're only going about 3 fingers. So we're going to stop it at about here. You can always bring it a little bit further than there. And with your brush, I'm using just like an Inglot, I think it's like a powder brush that I'm using, but by just squeezing the ends, we're creating, try and do it, by squeezing the ends, we're creating that more finer surface. So just making it a little bit more defined. And just and even, what I'm also going to do, this is an option, you don't have to do this one, but if you're wanting to just contour it a little bit more than what I have, another good spot is to do near the temples, and then going up a little bit. So by going from the temples and a little bit up, you're just kind of creating a softer surface around here, which is also thinning out your face. But if you're just wanting just that little bit extra, or if you're wanting to go a little bit more Kim Kardashian, who has a lot of contouring on her face, just here at the temple, just basically near the end of the eyebrow, and then we're just bringing it a little bit up into the hairline. So we're just, and again, I'm using the medium colour here. I'm going to go a little bit lighter with Shanice because her hair is a lot blonder than mine. So we're not going to want to make it too heavy. You don't want it to be too dark or too heavy when you're really fair. And it's just creating little flicks. Not wanting to create any you don't want it to be too harsh because you don't want it to look too fake and too drawn on. You're just wanting to define that that is the area and you're just wanting to perfect them. So again, we're just doing little flicks and I'm just following Shanice's natural eyebrow. Back, just so that it's blended a little bit nicer. It's just a little bit softer. With the same brown that I've used on the eyebrows and just on that outer corner, we're just going in with that same brown. So this brown we're just going to bring under the eye, so we're just going to define, just look up for me, just that under bit. And a brown will be a lot softer than a black. If you're wanting to go, if you're wanting something a little bit more dramatic, you can always go for a black. But just with what we're doing, we're just wanting to keep it rather, okay. Because Shanice has eyelash extensions, we're just going to apply mascara just to the bottom lashes. The mascara that I am using is the Revlon Grow Luscious Lash Potion Mascara. For Shanice's lips, we're going in with this bright lipstick that I'm using. It's just a neon orange. With Shanice's lips, I'm going to line it first with the Napoleon Perdis Khol eyeliner in white. That one. You can use an orange lip liner if you have one. The white will just bring it out a lot more. And now I'm going in with this orange lipstick. So we're just applying it just over the top of the white liner.
this is my final look. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and have a nice New Year's.